He spent $650 at the thrift store today. Right now we're breaking down how much we spent, how much we'll profit, and to show you guys what we are thrifting and what is in style and what is selling.
All right, let's get started. This is a Patagonia Nano Puff, men's medium. The Nano Puff is their Primaloft line. Sold comps go from 50 to 200 on these in pre-owned condition. I paid 14. Somehow they didn't price this up. There's a few little loose threads here and there, and a few little marks here and there. I'll probably list this 65 to 85, free ship, and expect a pretty quick sale. Patagonia.
So first up, have a Duluth women's size 16 regular, and they're just like, what do you call that? They're not cargo, but the pockets have that cargo look.
No,
they're just like a straight leg utility. They remind me of a cargo pocket. But so with Duluth, the bigger the size, the better the sell-through rate. Like I think I found some 10s or 12s while we were at the thrift store, and I left those behind. But I purchased these because they were only $6. And at our Goodwill, pants and jeans are like $10, $11. So
yeah. All right, up next. This is my bread and butter. I sell these quite regularly. Paid $5. Polo Ralph Lauren. I typically only buy these if they have pony hit. This one had a decent pattern. It was a decent size, and honestly, I shouldn't have bought it. But
so why did you?
I didn't mean to. I didn't realize I didn't have a pony.
It'll still flip. We're not gonna lose money on it, so
yeah.
My husband actually found this. So Boden used to be a pickup in everything. However, the last few years, a lot of Boden stuff's fallen off. It kind of either depends on the style, or the fact that like it's a newer tag. But a lot of the Boden stuff we get now, I have to comp or look for the newer styles. But this is the newer Boden tag. And it is just a basic t-shirt. It's a size 16 to 18 US and 20 UK. And it's just like that, I don't know, it's almost kind of like a Henley top. Anyway, it has kind of this like ruche sleeve. It's paisley. I didn't comp it. I'm going to guess without comping it probably 20-25, but it may go for more because it's a newer style.
All right. I got this for $5, and you can call me crazy if you want. It's Old Navy.
It's a good color.
But it's kind of got that Paddington Bear look, I guess. Old Navy, size small. It's got it's knit.
Toggle buttons.
It has the toggles. And yeah, I think it's on trend, so I think it'll sell.
And I think the color is a trending color for the fall. I think it could be either fall, winter, or spring, but I really think right now it's one of those colors that stand out. So, take a chance.
It's 60% wool, too. So.
I wondered that. It's cute. I'd wear it, but...
You can have it if you want.
I know I could, but it's a small, and I have kind of long, lanky arms, and it look weird on me.
It looks like you'd be a boy.
I am not a boy. Excuse me? Alright. And this is just kind of a take it or leave it thing. We do pick up quite a bit of Talbots. Usually, I don't really pay too much full price for it, unless it's a substantial piece, good material, and it's plus size. However, this is a Talbot's Petite Large, new with tags. Looks like it retailed for about $60. And it was half off. So it was like $4.40.
Yeah.
$4.40. I don't even think it was linen, but you know what? New with tags, $4.40, half price. Sometimes petites can do well too, but usually plus size and Talbots. Probably $20, $25. So I have two, and I think one was loved linen and one wasn't. Were they both?
This one just says linen stretch.
That one is, one of them is a mix.
This
one's 100%. So, again, our thrift store is getting ridiculous and they're marking up J. Jill. And these are, I think, extra large, and they're one's Love Linen, which, if you don't know, anything that says Love Linen that is J. Jill is typically 100% linen. Anything that says that one says J. Jill or
This
just
one
J.
says
Jill.
J. Jill linen stretch.
Yeah, just linen, or J. Jill just says J. Jill. I always check the material content if I think it's linen. Usually you can tell it's a stiffer material, it's lighter. But they wanted $13.90 for these guys. And I'm like, heck no. And they probably won't even get listed until spring. But honestly, with the way things are going, then, you know, it seems like everything's going up. Thrift stores are marking things up. Our strategy is trying to save for the next season. Usually it's more winter stuff. But you know what? I mean, even with J. Jill, I don't pick up everything. One of the reasons that I pick these up is because they're on the verge of being a plus size, an extra large, and they do have linen blend or 100% linen. And even at that price, so half off of that's like what? Basically almost $7. It's almost too much to pay for it then. But honestly, with the size and the fact that they are linen, they will do good this spring. And I may lot them together. I haven't decided.
Up next.
Why is it always me?
Watch what's coming out of the bag.
Okay. This one was a Maeve Anthropology, and I don't think it's like the newest style. But this is what like the tag looks like. You can see it. And I believe it was like a size 8. Yes. And it is the Naomi. Oh, it has a stain.
It'll come out.
We'll soak it in OxyClean or bleach it. Anyway, when I comped these, they were going for like 35 to 60. And the fact that these are white and I didn't think there was a stain on them, of course now there is, we could soak them in OxyClean, wash them, bleach them, whatever. These probably still will go for 40 plus, and we paid about $10 for them. So
that's it.
It's a good style. I think they're cute. If they're a little bit smaller, I'd probably keep them.
All right, this was her find, and it's a women's piece. But I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah, I had him comp it because I was utterly confused.
This is a brand I've never heard of, and maybe I should have, but it's Smith and Quinn. We both comped it. And was like, okay, there's some of these selling for $10 and there's some of these selling for $110. This one was new with tags.
That's the reason why I comped it, and then I had him comp it.
So for $5.50, I'm like, I have no idea. Like, the sell-through rate is decent. Wait, let me finish. The sell-through rate is decent. So I actually took a picture of it with Google Gemini and said, hey, this is a Smith and Quinn shirt, $5.50. Should I buy it? New with tags. And it came back with absolutely. You may sit on it a while, but it'll sell. So.
And if it's a luxury brand, typically you're going to sit on it. But it's a brand neither one of us have heard of.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
And sometimes it's worth looking up either tags or brands that you've never heard. And like in this case, the only reason I looked it up is because, number one, I'd never heard of the brand. It didn't have a tack on tag, which a lot of times the tack on tags will kind of give away that it's like quality,
right,
or that it could be designer or go for more money. And it actually didn't. It just says Smith and Quinn, and it's just like it's embroidered into the, not embroidered, but screen printed onto the shirt. But what made me question it is the fact that it had new tags. And I'm like, this is probably nothing, but I don't know if you guys see this, but, and maybe I'm just old enough that I think this. You probably don't know what I'm talking about, but this reminds me of like Mork and Mindy. Mork from Ork, like Nanu.
I thought it looked like a Star Trek
costume. Like, I know, but it looks like something Mork would wear from Mork and Mindy.
More of you.
I watched a lot of Nick at Night when I was a kid. I can't help it. This is Happy Camper by Torrid. And it's just a quarter zip, long sleeve sweater, front pocket, size 6. Half price, so we paid
$2.75.
Yeah.
We don't pick up everything torrid,
No. But for that, and
size
it's a good
6
size.
or so.
It's a really good size. Probably, yeah.
John Mark. There we are.
So this is another one that it can be a really good brand to pick up. John Mark. The problem is that typically, unless it's an extra large or larger plus size, they don't really do all that great. Like they're okay. It's kind of like Alley Miles. John Mark, Alley Miles are a lot the same. This one was a linen piece.
So,
Yeah, I think it is. Are you sure?
yeah, it's rayon nylon. I just checked. I thought it was linen.
I know, it's sometimes these rayon blends, I can't tell. Anyways, this kind of has a gauzy feeling, but I mean, for half price, what, $2 something?
Yeah, $2.75.
$2.75. It's got the wire collar, which these artsy brands are kind of known for. It's got the cool buttons on the back. It is an artsy brand. It'll probably go for $25 to $30.
All right. I passed on this the other day when it was full price for $2.75. It's just an REI co-op button shirt in a plaid. REI can be a BOLO brand in the outerwear and some of that type of stuff. This will probably bring, I'm probably going to list it for $30 free ship. But yeah, it's a pretty decent bread and butter piece.
It's cute.
Up next.
Would you like to talk about it?
I mean, I can.
I'll let you.
It's a J. Jill short sleeve cardigan thingamabob.
Thingamabob.
It is a linen blend, 55% linen, 45% rayon. It's a size extra small,
Which we don't typically pick up unless
but it's a big extra small.
elevated in its material content or half price.
Keywords would probably be coastal, granny maybe, I don't know, preppy, that type of stuff. My mom loves this stuff, so what's her favorite brand? Up next, Y2K piece. Some kind of flared sweatpants from Abercrombie. We typically pick up Abercrombie when they have the big spell out stuff. We paid half of $9.80, so what's that, $4.90? So, yeah.
I haven't decided if I'm going to give them to my daughter for Christmas or not. We'll see. She's into the Y2K. She likes mom stuff.
There you
Thanks. Right up my alley.
go. Well, here, look.
Well, these are Gap pants. They're the girlfriend chino. And honestly, I probably wouldn't have thought twice about picking them up, but they were new at tag. And they were half off of $9.80, so basically $5. But yeah, they're just
Bread and butter.
yeah, can't really go wrong with that. Now, this is something you picked up and showed me, and I mean, we were kind of hurrying, but it is a vintage string, Victoria's Secret, and I guess you could call it a slip dress. Typically, these do better in the longer length. They're lingerie, obviously, but kids like to wear them as slip dresses. It is vintage though, so we decided to pick it up. And it was only like $4, so we're gonna try it. Probably might sit on it for a little bit because it's not a longer length and it's not silk, but I mean, it's under $5, so why not?
Up next is Everlane wide leg. That's you too.
These are cute.
Are they yours?
No, because I don't know. If I tried them on, they might be. Yeah, they're Everlane, and I could not find a style code on these, but they are just very, very wide leg. Like the barrel type wide leg. They're trending. We paid basically $11 for them at our Goodwill.
What are
I
they pricing
comped.
as jeans, not pants?
I don't know if I said pants. I think I said pants.
I know.
Well, they charged
They
us as
priced it
jeans.
jeans, yeah.
But anyways, I comped them, and the comps weren't like super great, but when I narrowed it down by the color green, it seemed like they were going for like 40 to 50. So
I mean, it fits a lot of aesthetics. It fits the gorpcore aesthetic. It fits
Gorpcore.
Sure. I don't know.
I should know that.
Yeah, and it's
Skater,
yeah.
Y2K.
It's just
90s.
the wide leg aesthetic. So.
It has kind of the Genco 90s look without all the embroidery on it. The kids want the Genco jeans, and they're going for these, you know, late 90s, early 2000s. All right, this I kind of just took a chance on. Zara is not a brand that we typically pick up anymore, so I wouldn't memorize it. It is a mall brand, but I was like, this is super cute. It is like a sheer knit, crocheted sweater eyelet. I mean, you could kind of call it, it just really has holes in it, but it's meant to look that way. And it's just got this metallic in the material. And I was like, this is festive, this is Christmas, this is holiday, this is ugly sweater. I mean, it's really not ugly, but I mean, you could use that novelty, winter, like I said, ugly sweater. But I mean, it was half price off of 5, and I'm like, we're gonna try that. Here's another one. This is, I mean, it's crazy to me how much cheaper some of our thrift stores are compared to our Goodwills, but this is one of our local thrift stores, The Well. And I got this J. Jill, I think it was like a linen blend. Extra small, again, something I would normally pass on. Was this color half off too?
Yeah,
the orange.
Half
that
off
was
there
crazy.
too.
Goodwill and The Well had half off on orange colors, so it was pretty easy to keep track of.
Which never happens.
So basically, something that I normally don't pick up based on the extra small size, I picked up because it was like $1.50.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's linen too.
And it's either, it's a combination of linen. I knew it was. So again, I mean, not expecting a lot, probably 20, 25. Paid $1.50, you can't go wrong. Probably wait on that till spring.
No.
I don't know, I didn't comp this. My husband did.
I was shocked. I don't know. It was a confusing thing. It was $3, so, and she thought it was trendy and could sell it, so.
It's got that tulle material.
Yeah, I mean.
And you comped it, and it was half price of basically.
Don't memorize that brand, Cachet. But
Cachet is a different brand, baby.
I realize that.
I know, I'm just saying.
It did look like there was some of their stuff that would do pretty well, though. So if you see it, you know, check it out.
If you see something unique that could be like designer or something, or vintage designer, or just something unique, just comp it. You never know. It was like, what, $3.50, basically?
Yeah.
$2.50.
So we paid $2.80 for this. It's just 100% linen top by Tracy M. We're gonna have to OxyClean it. But
oh, I didn't see that. Yeah, you guys should always look out for stains. It's got makeup stains, but we can OxyClean it.
Yeah, and it's super bread and butter.
Half
like
price.
we'll probably list it at 25 free ship, maybe 30 free ship.
Super
springtime. Unless I'm wrong, which is entirely possible.
I mean, it is long sleeve. You could probably list it towards the end of winter.
Yeah.
Okay, this is something I've heard of the brand, but I've never seen it in pajamas or let alone nightgowns. But this is Sundance, and typically we find this in like cardigans, sweaters, pants, stuff like that. And this is just I want to say a rayon blend, viscose blend, or just 100% viscose nightgown. There is some lace detailing on it. Don't think I paid a lot. $6. So we're gonna try it. It seemed to go for like 25-ish. So
I paid up for a beanie. So this little guy here, that guy's Nitwit, and he is the mascot for the brand Smartwool. So I would assume there's no tags in here or anything, but I would assume this is probably Merino. I'm not going to put that in the listing unless I can verify it somehow. But paid $6. It ought to sell for 25 or 30. So it's got the pom-pom, cable knit. It'll sell.
all right, next up, paid a little over $4 for this J. McLaughlin. And it is a smaller size, a medium. But I want to say, I can't remember if they have like the Santana knit, because I feel like this might be. But anyways, I comped it at the store. It's not something I run into an awful lot, and it seemed to go for like 30, 35.
All right, now this is kind of a big hitter. It's a long sleeve shirt by Polo Ralph Lauren. I seen similar comps anywhere from 30 to 110. So I said, let's buy it. It is definitely a vintage tag made in Honduras, and that's that vintage Ralph Lauren tag. And I thought it was pretty cool, so we bought it. Paid a whole $3.48 at the well. So yeah, I think that's a good piece.
This is a brand you may want to memorize. I think it's fallen off some, but nonetheless, this is Wolford. I just shook the camera. And our store had marked it up to $30, and then it went half off to $15. And this is just like a ribbed virgin wool rib dress, and from the way comps looked, it should go between 40 and 65. It's an extra small, which I'm not crazy about, but I don't think I've ever found this brand. I've found Wilfred. I've never found Wolford. So that was exciting. And I didn't have to pay $30 for it.
Up next is a denim brand I don't normally pick up anymore. It is Can for Maurice's, which is even worse than just regular Can, but they've got a good flare, and they were only $5, so I figured they'd sell for $30 free ship. And there was like, of this exact style, I seen 7 listed and 5 sold, so it's a decent enough sell-through rate for me to pick them up for $5.
Sometimes just comping things, even if the brand isn't all that great, will help, especially if you can get it for the right price, because sometimes the style will carry it.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a nice thing. You're not always going to find these fantastic flips. Okay, here's something else that typically we pass on. It is a Madewell bodysuit. Show you the tag here. And again, this brand a few years ago used to do phenomenal. That's Madewell. It's in recent years just fallen off. I paid about $3.50 for it, but the reason why I picked it up is because it was new with tags. Figured we'd try it, even if we only get 20 out of it. $3.50 into 20, it's a pretty solid flip.
So we don't pick up a whole lot of like Johnny O polo shirts anymore. Even the hanging outs and all that, it's kind of fallen off. But this one is one that I probably would pick up because it's 2XL and it has a really good print. That said, if it's me, it's mine.
I was gonna ask you if you were keeping it. I thought you were.
And then this is just a Y2K Abercrombie. Like I said, if we have that big spell out, we typically buy it. It was half of $3.48. Hard to make too big of a mistake at $1.75. Just because it looks like a cheap fleece. Polo Sport. Vintage Polo Sport can do really well. And I seen the exact comp for this one at $110. So Polo Sport, it's got this kangaroo pocket. And the tag, I paid $6.50, is Polo Sport. This happens to be a size medium, and it's 100% polyester. I should probably do a deep dive into Ralph Lauren because some of their sublines can do really well that have, not that they're not manufacturing anymore. So,
it's vintage too, so
yeah.
it may be highly sought after because of the rarity of it.
Yep.
Or other factors that we're unaware of. Next up, nothing exciting. Again, not always gonna find like the home runs, but this is just some unknown brand. I've heard of Fruit of the Loom thermals, but this is Indira, and it's just some thermal bottoms, I think. Yeah. $1.98 at the thrift. They're probably gonna go for like 15 to 20. So it's pretty solid. Brand new, you can't go wrong.
This was an artsy brand I seen on the rack. It's Katina Marie. I paid $2.09 for it. When I've seen it, it looks like, you know, John Mark or whatever those brands are, Catherine's and Alley Miles type of stuff. So I said $2.20, why not? I did some comps. It looks like it'll sell 25 to 30. Had about a 40 to 50% sell-through rate. So yeah, art to wear is kind of a thing, especially in a good size, extra large.
All right, up next, my husband found this, but he knows me well most of the time. This is not something I typically pick up unless I can get it for half off or cheap, but it is, I feel it's called Solitaire. It's not something I necessarily memorize, but this brand is kind of, I think it used to be carried by Anthropologie, for one. We sold some jackets by them too. But they're really known for the embroidery. And not only that, it was an extra large and I got it for like what, $3, $2.50?
Yeah.
Like, it's cute, it's embroidered. It'll probably sell for $20, $25.
Next up, pair of vintage Levi's. These are women's 550s. Not the greatest vintage Levi's you could find. This is the Y2K tag. You know that a few different ways. Number one, the this tag here, if you flip up this tag where it's the size, it's made in Mexico, so that's a good part. Your date code is right here. So this was made in April of 2003, so these are technically vintage. And they're a good wash. I got them for half price. They should sell for probably $32 free ship. Something like that.
I'll let you talk about these because
Well, you found them.
I found them, but I'll let you talk about them.
Okay. I honestly need to do more research into Pepe.
We found them once and they were really cool.
Yeah, they were
These aren't as cool as the last ones we found.
So these are vintage Pepe jeans. They can be. They did. They can be really good. These have an embroidery on that back pocket. They have a really good fade pattern. It's a taper leg. It's definitely from the 90s. We only paid $4 for them. They're not the super cool wide leg or all kinds of embroidery and stuff. So
the last pair we had looked like Gencos.
Yeah, they're not gonna go for $100 or anything, but 35 free ship. I'm pretty confident in.
Next up, so we've been picking up. Well, I've mostly been picking up Christmas sweaters and sweatshirts. This one is a vintage. It is not a brand I've ever heard, but Pennell.
Sure.
Pennell.
Panel? I don't know.
Panel by Hanes, and it is made in USA. It's an extra large, and it's just, I assume that's a bear. It says Merry Christmas. It's got some snowflakes on the sides, and it even has a back hit. And I'd say it's probably from like the 90s. I paid $5 for it at our Goodwill. So probably go for 20, 25, maybe more. If you do the research, sometimes you find those things out.
Be looking everywhere, guys. This was sitting on the sporting goods rack, and I noticed the duck camo, which is a vintage camo pattern. Picked it up and looked at the button, and it says Carhartt. So what this is a game pouch that would have zipped in and snapped in to an old Carhartt hunting vest or jacket. So I went ahead and comped it, and just this game pouch alone, I seen a sold comp for 40 plus 11 shipping. So, yeah, expand your horizons a bit and see what you can find outside of just the clothes.
This is, and I don't suggest picking up everything because some things are very plain, but this is a vintage Fang Y2K brand. It's kind of a peasanty, white, like I said, Y2K 90s. It has a lot of sparkles. It's kind of an eyelet. It's got kind of a flared sleeve. Another keyword you could use besides vintage and like Y2K 90s is baby tee. It's a shorter length. It's like a crop almost. And that is something that is coming back. So probably, I haven't comped it, but I'm guessing about 25 to 30.
Up next is a pair of pumps. These are Salvatore Ferragamo. Leather sole, made in Italy. Some Salvatore Ferragamos go for crazy money, $200, $300, $400 used. The basic pump like this, I paid $5 for these. I'm gonna say they'll probably go for 40, 45, 50. I'll do some research. You never know; they could be bigger, but yeah, $40.
Our daughter loves them.
Yeah, she does. Our daughter loves everything.
She loves shoes, yeah. Alright. Next, I've got a sleepwear brand, which you don't find a ton in, but sometimes you do. A lot of times more than you think. This is one to keep an eye out for, and it's not high-end brand, but it's Eileen West. And it was $4 at the Goodwill, and it's just, I don't know, I think it's a robe. Kind of a nightgown robe. It's hooded. It doesn't have like the belt, but I'm gonna guess a robe. And when I comped it, it was like 25, 30. Least.
Right. Don't sleep on the kids section.
You mean sleepwear?
Well, yeah, don't sleep on sleepwear either, huh? Patagonia size 3T. I paid $10 for this, which sounds kind of crazy for a used kids jacket for resale, but this should go. I've seen sold comps as high as 65 pre-owned. I think more realistically you're looking at about 40, but this is in demand. People want to dress their kid like mini-me, and yeah, so at least I always at least look for puffer jackets and stuff and see if they are, you know, Patagonia, Arc'teryx, North Face. Some of those brands will actually sell better in kids than even adults. Like North Face sells better in baby size than adult size. So, yeah, don't sleep on the baby section.
Next up, not a brand I would memorize, but it is basically a vintage white stag. Walmart brand. I thought it was cool. It was another Christmassy, wintry type item I got at our Goodwill. $5. It's got like a gingerbread man, snowman. It's embroidered. And I think it was a good size. Yeah, it's like a 22 by 24 W. But it's just like a chambray denim shirt. Probably won't go for a ton, but it is cute.
Very good. This is a brand that when I first started a few years ago was really hot. Honestly, I probably could have paid full price for this, but I passed on it the other day at full price just because it's probably going to need some steaming and stuff. Carbon to Cobalt's a pretty decent brand. This is a flannel, which elevates it a little bit above just a casual button down. Size extra large. I paid $275. Probably, I'm going to list this, I'm going to guess $28 free ship. So, yeah, not too bad.
Alright, I found two of these at our Goodwill today. The only reason I can think that I found them is because they're off season. Were they half price?
They must have
I
been.
think they were half price. So, Flax, there's the tag, is a well-known, really decent, I would say bread and butter, somewhat elevated even from bread and butter brand. 100% linen. I found a blue one. They're both large, and a pink one. For what? $3? $2.50?
Yeah.
So we'll probably save those for spring. We'll probably go for $25, $35.
Makes sense to me. Up next, this is another brand that I used to pick up quite a lot. has fallen off quite a bit. But the Territory head, if it's loud, it'll still sell. This is a really good print. This is a vintage 100% rayon, size large, and with the kind of Navajo Aztec print, I'll probably list this at $35 to $37 free ship, and we'll see if it gets sold.
Here's another brand. You could take it or leave it, honestly. A lot of times it depends on the OB number, which is like your style code. You always kind of want to check these. The brand is Free People. Again, it's kind of a hit or miss. I did not comp this one, I'll be honest, but the style with the vibes and everything are there. It is very peasant-y, ruched, sheer, fairy floral, festival, boho. Honestly, you could probably use Forest Fairy in that, or coquette, cottage.
It hits on a lot of keywords.
It really does, and it's kind of timeless, really. But I imagine, I haven't done the research, it'll probably at least go for 25 to 30, maybe more.
At least.
Up
next, these are vintage Roper jeans, which is a Western wear brand from the 80s and 90s. A really popular style was no back pockets, and then this seam across here. Not a whole lot to talk about them. These are just a tapered leg, really popular Western wear brand, and size 11. I'm probably gonna throw them up for, I paid $5, probably throw them up for 32 to 37 free ship.
Next is another holiday sweater with Christmas and Thanksgiving coming up.
That's pretty cool.
This one is cool. This one is more, it's not just brand based, but I have found that this brand, if you can find the embellished sweaters, I think it's Storybrooke, usually is vintage. It's usually got rainy and cotton, and a lot of them are still made in China, but this is at least, the very least, like Y2K 90s. This one has like the really cool little deer zipper. It's got the reindeer on the front and sequins. It's got like a cable knit look, and it's a zip up. And I only paid like $7 for it. I imagine it'll probably go for like 30 to 40.
Yeah,
I really do.
All right, next up is a brand that, I don't know, I didn't comp this. It could be a brand, but not that I've ever heard of. It's Marrakech. If it's something you've heard of, put a comment below. I just thought for $3.50 that style would sell. Like, just look at it. That's Y2K, gorpcore, grunge. So this is a style-based piece. When you pay $3.50, I guarantee I can get $25 for that, maybe more. So you gotta expand outside of just brands sometimes. And
I'll tell you, if you buy something based off like style based, sometimes you'll find out without comping it later that it's worth more than you thought.
oh yeah,
I actually run into that more with novelty sweaters like that Storybrooke. I've had what was the other brand we've sold lately that had the snowman on it, and that went for like 45 or 50.
Alfred Eden?
Not Alfred Eden. It was like a vintage brand.
I'm not
Swanee or something.
sure. Swanee's is a golf
Not
brand.
Swanee's. Anyways, I run into like some brands that were vintage and just bought them based on style, and like they were loud. And then come to find out, like, that was a sought-after thing, like, in Christmas or in Thanksgiving or in Halloween. And that brand being for one, loud, novelty, vintage. But the actual brand itself was, like, elevated because people were seeking after that style in that specific brand.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're really shocked. I've seen things go for 75 and 100 in some of these novelty prints that are vintage.
Nice.
So I get excited. I don't know if it's just because it's shiny. I don't know. It's fun. Here's another one usually my husband would find and talk about, but I found it.
Why would I find it? It's women's.
Yeah, we find stuff like this all the time.
It's cool.
Anyways, something to be on the lookout for, and it's Orvis, but this one is more of a vintage Orvis. It's made in India, not the US, but it's got the cool tag. And it looks like it's a reversible.
I don't think it's reversible.
It almost looks like it. It's not, but it's just like a vest. It's got like, I don't know, might be wood buttons, but it's a super cool vest. It has like an indie look to it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's gonna go for, but I imagine it's probably north of 35.
Yeah, it looks like something your grandma would make.
Yeah,
You know?
it kind of does.
It's cool.
It really looks like it should be reversible, but
It does.
it's cool.
Alright, up next. This is a pair of J. Crew classic fit corduroy chinos. Paid $8 for them. Probably don't pay $8 for them if they're not new, but brand new with tags, J. Crew corduroy, probably $35, $40, free ship. Heritage is a good keyword there. Preppy, academia, those types of things.
All right, this is kind of a hit or miss brand. I wouldn't pick everything up in it, and it's fallen off quite a bit. But I also think this is like a Y2K vintage. It is Sigrid Olsen. And the reason I bought this is it's just, a lot of times when I buy Sigrid Olsen, it's linen or linen blend or silk or something. Usually it's linen. And I don't usually pay up for it. It's not worth it. It's fallen off. But this has this really pretty like holiday sweater.
See that reindeer down there?
Yeah, I do now. It's got reindeer on
I
it.
didn't notice.
It's got like a quilted look. It's not, it's knit, but it's a quilted look. It has kind of patchwork look. And I think it was a good size. Oh, only a medium, but and it's
Cool.
vintage. But I thought it was cool. Don't know how much it's gonna go for.
Alright, picking up small brands. Aeropostale when it's Y2K, and I don't see how that could be construed any way other than Y2K. It's a pretty decent colorway. It's a size medium. It was made in the UAE. Sounds like vintage to me.
United Arab Emirates.
Yeah. I paid $7 for it, but I think that's gonna go for 35, 40, 42 free ship.
So it's a super old tag too.
Yeah, it is.
Like it might even be before Y2K.
Could be.
I don't know.
It's pretty cool though.
It is.
I thought so anyway.
Alright, next is super exciting. I mean it's okay.
Honestly, I think it's gonna do better than you think.
Maybe. It's again, don't buy everything in Ralph Lauren.
Especially LRL.
Yeah, this is not an upgraded line of Ralph Lauren, but it is a size 14. My gosh, there's like sequins all over it from something else. It is a linen blend. It's got this really cool shooter patch, and it's just like your knee-length dress. But between the size, the fabric content, the shooting patch, I think we'll probably see 40 plus out of it.
Also have to get them for a pretty good price. We paid half price, so it would have been like $5. They're corduroy. It's kind of the same keywords as the last one.
They're probably not going to go for a whole lot because
No.
I comped them and
30, 35 free ship.
yeah, there wasn't a lot listed and a lot sold, but it could have been a worse sell-through rate. Like it was okay.
Yeah.
For half price.
All right.
Alright.
Here's a
I'm sure
brand
you
that
guys
we've
are
almost
tired of me
entirely
talking
stopped
about
picking
Christmas
up,
sweaters. Maybe not.
except for when it's
I'm tired
men's.
of Christmas.
So this is
A little
Madewell.
bit. Sorry, I used to work
This is the
retail.
Madewell strip.
Anyways, this is super cute. It's not a brand I would memorize either, but it is probably Y2K and it is Bobby Brooks. And Obviously, I got it because of the nutcrackers, the loud print, the embellishments, the beading. It's even got this hit on the back. Not made of anything more than cotton and rainy. It's a size large. It's probably going to go for $30, $35.
Don't walk past this brand at the thrift store. That is Escada. It is a German brand. Unfortunately, the material tag has been cut out of this one. It feels like cashmere to me, though. So I'm going to do some research. This is going to go anywhere from 30 to 120 plus. With the material tag cut out, I can't see it going for more than 60. But if I can somehow confirm the style that it is a cashmere piece, I'll probably list it in the $80 range because it's missing the tag. Otherwise, I paid $10 for it. Man, our prices are ridiculous. At least 35, probably closer to 50 plus.
I found a top once and it went for like 35.
Nice.
So
So at least 35.
probably with it being a blazer, it'll probably go for more if you can narrow it down. With or without. Guess it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, we really did not comp this, guys, and don't always take our word for stuff, especially if you're starting out. We did this for a long time where we didn't comp and we learned really fast. But in this case, this is free, people.
There ain't no way that's not worth it.
And it is more of a midi dress, but usually with these free people dresses, the midi to maxis do better. I actually sold one this summer, a maxi dress, and it was like a black knit or sheer free people maxi dress for like 120. So I was like, you know what? I think we're gonna try this for $11. What's the worst we get out of it? 30. I mean, we make our money back.
It's a tiered maxi
It
boho.
probably will sell for more.
Yeah, I'm sure. Up next, back on the Y2K trend. This is Gap, made in Indonesia. Let's see if it's vintage. I don't think so, but maybe. You never
You know, even though it's made in Indonesia, that doesn't mean that it's not vintage.
No, this one's not vintage. Made in 2018.
Well, sometimes they
But again, with the gorpcore, utility gorpcore, it's got all the pockets. Like, it's just on trend, and I think it'll sell. So yeah, I don't know what else to tell you about it. Paid $5, should go for 30 plus.
I found it and asked you about it. You're like, absolutely. Okay. Alright, not much to say about this. It's another Alley Miles, which is another artsy brand. I think they mismarked it at the thrift store at the Goodwill. I normally don't pick up a lot of Alley Miles under an extra large unless it is super substantial, super crazy. This was 59 cents at the Goodwill. Usually it'd be $5.59, $6.99, something like that. So I wasn't gonna pass on 59 cents for Alley Miles.
Yeah, a little typo on there.
Yeah.
Tag there, but hey.
Oopsie. They could have done that with something a little more expensive though.
Right. So I got that Carhartt jacket because they priced it $1.29. That one. The last
Well,
one
you
we
know,
had
you
in
tried to
store.
sell something on eBay today for $1.
Good point. Yeah, I did. That would have been bad.
Yeah.
This is just a Vineyard Vines long sleeve T-shirt. We got it because we thought it was kind of cool. My first thought was, why in the world did they spell Jingle Bells with a G instead of a J? I think that's a glass of gin, so I guess that kind of makes sense. But yeah, it's kind of cool. We paid $4. It'll probably go for 22 to 25 free ship, something like that.
You know, it's too bad that that didn't match Minga's that I got her better because you guys could like match. She got a Vineyard Vines one too.
It's too small for me.
I know. Alright, there's not a whole lot to say about this. This is not a brand I would memorize either. But it is, however, a Catherine's, size 3X, Nua tags. I paid probably a little more than I wanted to, $6.99. But it is sheer, it is eyelet, it is plus size. It is Nua tags, so probably 25 to 30. Not bad.
This is just a North Face full zip hoodie. I will, when I go to list it, type in the style number and get the style name. It's got the funnel neck, and it was half price. I think I paid $5 for it, so at least $25, $30 shipping. North Face really has fallen off. They do have some styles that'll go for stupid money though, so pay attention. So I will do a little bit of research before listing it for $25, but yeah, it's worth $5 every time.
Alright, next up. Not a brand I would completely memorize and everything, but in some things it does do well. It is an Eddie Bauer skirt. It's, I mean, the only thing really going for it is it's a midi and it is corduroy. It's a smaller size, it's a size 6. I imagine it'll go for probably $20, $25. I paid $6 for it. But it's in season. Corduroy's kind of a thing, so.
I'll be honest with you, I did not comp this, but it's a vintage Polo Sport Ralph Lauren, and I thought it was a pretty cool jacket. I should have done some research before we made this video, but
I thought you did comp that.
not this one. That was the sleeves.
You might have buyer's remorse
Yeah,
later.
it's got some cool stuff there. I really don't think so. I paid half price of $9 or $4.50 for it. There ain't no way I'm losing
Is it
money.
kids or men's?
It is a women's small.
Well, it's better than kids.
It's either women's small or men's small.
That is a tiny man.
Yeah, it's a women's small. But Polo Sports typically does pretty well. So, yeah.
Okay, something I sort of comped in the store. Didn't do a ton of research. Thought I'd take a chance at $3.99. It is a vintage, probably 80s, early 90s Christmas dress by a brand I've never heard of. Pretty as a picture, not something I memorized. But it kind of reminds me of even something of the 80s that I would have wore. Just thought I'd try it out. It probably won't go for a ton of money, or it might. I don't know. Probably $20, $25 though. Gotta get it sold here soon though.
We bought more Gap today than I think I've ever bought in my life.
Like the Gap. Don't you?
This is vintage Gap. Paid $6. It's kind of a cool colorway. It's got the grunge aesthetic going on. $6, probably 25, 30, 35 free ship. Could be more, you never know.
You gotta fall into the Gap.
I'm falling into the Gap. Trip and fall.
I'm gonna have like way more than you.
I know that's
It's not fair.
what I'm trying to
Not much to say about this. Not a brand either. I would remember. This was even cheaper. Paid $2.99 at Thrift. It's a cropped and borrow. Just vintage knit sweater. It's got snowmen, a winter, very festive, holiday, ugly sweater, novelty, Christmas. Okay.
Alright, up next. Eileen Fisher wide leg pants. Linen. I mean, what do you say? You're not going to pass up on Eileen Fisher for $5. Especially when it's linen. It's got the good colorway. It's got the good on-trend style. Because of the colorway, I think we might go ahead and list these now instead of waiting. Probably. Colorway is definitely a fall color. But yeah, Eileen Fisher, I don't know. Coastal, obviously going to use wide leg baggy. And yeah.
I have a soft spot for out of season stuff. I can't.
I hear you.
Okay. Another thing, the brand itself I would not be too worried about. But when it comes to the vintage, the Express, like the mall brand Express, the Vintage Express Tricot, this one is pretty cool. It's not as cool as some of the ones that I've found. I think this one's a cotton rainy blend, so it is vintage. And it was made in Hong Kong. But it is super cool. It's, I don't know, cable knit, fisherman. I actually have one in the closet, and I wish I could show you guys. It's knitted just like this, and it's like sheer, and it's like a kind of a cropped, and it is patchwork, like knitted sweater. Like there's granny squares and stuff. It is super cool. So I kept it. I've rarely ever worn it, but do be on the lookout for the vintage Express tricot. Some of those can go for some good money. That one probably will just maybe go 25, 30.
All right. Abercrombie. It's one of those brands that fell off and is kind of starting to have a resurgence.
Y2K.
With the Y2K. Especially if it screams Abercrombie or has a good moose logo. This is a down puffer jacket. And it has that moose logo. I'll be honest, I didn't comp it, and I paid $14 for it, so hopefully that wasn't a bad buy. In my head, oh wait, did I pay? I paid $9 for it. How about that?
Even better.
I'm gonna guess it's gonna go for at least $45.
Now, is that a men's or a women's?
I have no idea. It's a size medium. I thought it was a men's,
I think
but
it's a woman's. Well,
Right.
worst comes to worst, somebody will just be wearing it. Somebody will get it for Christmas.
somebody that's not me.
I know it.
So I can
Be so
pull
cute
out.
on you.
Fat man in a little coat. Gotta love that movie.
You're so mean to yourself. Alright, again, I have buyer's remorse, but we picked this up without comping it.
It's a cool piece.
It is free, people, and we say that, and then I literally go to list this stuff, and it goes for $20, $25, and I paid up for some of this stuff. Not any of this stuff, but a small, it's just your basic, probably, I didn't look to see what it's made out of, but it's a knit sweater. Hopefully it goes for at least $25.
Alright, up next. This is just a really cool piece. I believe it is women's. Let's see.
I found it. I just handed it to him.
Yeah, that's definitely a women's. Women's western shirt with the cool Aztec print. It's got this cool crossover thing going on, and this cape with the branding, and original by Prairie Fire Designs. We didn't comp it because just freaking look at it. I mean, you see that and you know it's gonna sell. I mean, it's cool as heck. I don't know. I think we paid probably $3 for it. I'm gonna guess somewhere between 20 and 200. Probably closer to 20.
Probably, but
Probably
it's still
closer.
cool.
Probably closer to 40, at least. But I mean, you never know with some of these old vintage Western shirts. I mean, they can go $200-$300.
That's
so
why I handed it to you. I'm like, here you go.
it's too cool not to get. So here we go.
All right, not much to say about this. Eileen Fisher, extra small pants. Honestly, I went back and forth about picking them up. They're about $10, but I'm like, number one, it's Eileen Fisher. Number two, white, and white without stains usually goes for more money. I'm like, they're probably gonna go for like 35 or 40 at the very least.
All right, got to get your nut. Mountain Hardware. It's a really soft fleece. I got a feeling it may end up being my wife's.
Why do you say that? Because I felt it.
And it's soft.
You said soft.
Yeah, it's nice.
It is nice.
Mountain Hardware is a really good gorpcore brand. I paid $6, I think. And I'll probably list it 35 to 40 free ship. So yeah.
Okay, this one is like not another brand that I would keep my eyes peeled for, but it's more the fashion aesthetic. It's Coldwater Creek. It's houndstooth. It's artsy. It's embroidered. I mean, it's just kind of wild. Paid $5 for it. My husband found it. I thought it was pretty cool. Probably do, I don't know, 25-ish, somewhere around there.
Paid $6 for a Patagonia hoodie. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Patagonia Brisel hoodie. This is a size extra large, so it's a pretty decent size. It's got the bear logo. I don't know, $35.
We had an extra small of that in our store for forever.
Yeah, they're not the greatest sellers, actually.
No, but it was a better size, so that's why I handed it to you. Okay, my husband's pickup that I get to talk about. Joseph Ribkoff. Depending on what you buy, this brand can do well. We took a chance on $5. Not a terrible buy. Usually when it comes to this, the elevated size, which is an extra large, and the embellishments and kind of the wild prints and silhouettes of it can do better. But I think it'll sell for okay money.
Up next, this is a Patagonia Nano Puff men's medium. The Nano Puff is their Primaloft line. Sold comps go from 50 to 200 on these in pre-owned condition. I paid 14. Somehow they didn't price this up. There's a few little loose threads here and there, and a few little marks here and there. I'll probably list this 65 to 85 free ship and expect a pretty quick sale. Patagonia. And then a new brand to me I learned about today. I felt it on the rack. I said that feels like quality, and I looked it up and was absolutely blown away by the comp. So this is, I feel like I may have heard of it before, but I don't know when, where, or how, but this is a Unbound Merino. This is a hoodie, full zip hoodie. I honestly don't even know if it's actually Merino. I'm sure it is.
No content.
I just didn't look.
He was so excited.
The first comp I seen was $150.
97% merino wool.
And 3% elastane, which gives it a really nice stretch.
You did too, look, you fibber. And it was from 2 years ago.
So yeah, Unbound Merino is an absolute BOLO brand. So keep your eye out for Unbound Merino. And again, that tag is right there. So we spent about $650 on all of this. I think we got about 100 items. And probably $1,800 to $2,000 profit. Probably $3,500 will be our average sold price on everything. That's just kind of how our store runs.
We didn't show you everything.
Yeah, we didn't.
So we had a lot of bread. I mean, we showed you a lot of bread and butter, but there's a lot of things that we just kind of skipped on to do better things. So.
Yeah, and multiples of some of it and stuff like that. So, yeah, thanks for tuning in. If you're interested in my gorpcore brand list, check the comment below, check the description below. Sign up for the newsletter. We send out a weekly newsletter with keywords and brand deep dive and an AI prompt every week. So yeah, sign up for that. It's called the Flip Forecast. It'll be linked below. That's also how you get the free PDF on the top 25 gorpcore brands. That's going to be working its way into an exhaustive brand list. Probably starting with men's and then moving over to women's as I work on that. If you learned anything, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Thanks.
Oh,